On this channel, we have shared a couple of videos on what to do and what not to do if you get stopped at a roadblock by law enforcement officials or the police. So we're continuing with that conversation in this video because many of you indicated that we need to continue with this conversation. So in today's video, we are just going to talk about some of the things that you can actually do to get out of trouble at a roadblock. By the way, I'm not talking about giving the police officials a cool drink, also known as a bribe. No, we're just talking about the things that can help you in that situation, because many people forget that before you start thinking about the law, about lawyers, about getting arrested, about getting to courts and all those other things, there are just simple things that you can do as a driver in order to ensure that you stay out of trouble. So we're going to talk about some of those things. By the way, this is not meant to be legal advice. If you need a lawyer for your particular situation, I advise that you find a good lawyer where you stay. So let's get on with it. So the first thing that you want to know as a motorist, as a driver, is that firstly you must make it a priority to avoid lawyers or any forms of legal entanglements by driving carefully. If you are in a 60 km/h zone, do 60 km/h. If you are in a zone for 120 km/h, do 120 km/h. If it's a red robot, why are you jumping a red robot? Simple common sense things, but of course we all know what they say about common sense, that it's not common. So in this video, we're just going to talk about some of the things that you can actually do to get out of situations. I'm not talking about cool drink, I'm not talking about bribing law enforcement officials. You will get into trouble and you will encourage bad behavior in our law enforcement if you are going to be giving them cool drinks to get out of sticky situations. So let's say you are guilty of speeding and you get stopped by the road by the traffic cops or law enforcement officials. Let's say you are probably driving, your vehicle's license disc is expired. Let's say probably you forgot your license at home and you get stopped. What do? The first thing, my advice is try to be polite and cooperative with the police or the traffic official. Most people make the mistake of being antagonistic or confrontational. They start raising their voice, they start doing all the other things, and the law enforcement official, who is probably also tired and irate, but they've probably been sitting at that spot for hours. Now they are also tired and they are angry and they're exhausted. The moment you start being antagonistic with them, confrontational with them, things definitely are going to go out of hand. Let's say you were indeed speeding, or probably they got caught you on some other offense. Of course, watch the other video. There are certain offenses where we said sometimes there's no doubt about it, it's immediate arrest and your vehicle is going to be impounded. See the other videos on this channel. But in most situations, like speeding, you probably just want to be polite and cooperative with the traffic official. A soft answer, showing a little humility, you'll probably get away with a warning, but not a ticket. The idea here is to avoid a traffic fine. Being humble doesn't cost you a thing. Of course, I'm not saying that it's going to work in every situation, but I'm saying that in certain situations you will get away with it by just being cooperative and polite. If you are speeding more than 40 kilometers per hour in a 120 zone, if you are speeding more than 30 kilometers per hour in a 60 zone, you will probably get arrested. Just remember that. I watched that video. We talked about situations where the vehicle will be impounded and you will be arrested immediately. So watch that other video as well. But try to smooth things so that they don't get out of hand. Now, let's say you probably had a good reason. You probably had a good reason for speeding. Let's say you probably had a good reason why you forgot your driver's license or something like that. Remember that the traffic cops are not going to just accept your reasoning, your explanation on the scene. If they don't accept your excuse, they will issue a traffic fine. This traffic fine can still be withdrawn by a prosecutor if you present good grounds or good evidence, sufficient evidence of why you were speeding. So remember that you can still get a fine, you can still get a ticket if you're speeding, or if you left your license at home with good reason. You need sufficient grounds for that, and the prosecutor will cancel that ticket or that fine. But it can be done preferably with a defense lawyer. Of course you can do it, but maybe you need a lawyer who understands these things to draft this on your behalf. Now, there are going to be situations where things will not go according to plan. You find yourself in a situation where probably the traffic cops are tired, they're exhausted, and you have tried to be cooperative, humble, polite, but the traffic cops are having none of it. They are tired, they're exhausted, and they're irritated, and you have grounds for laying claims of abuse or harassment against the traffic cops. Then what you need in that situation is to get as much information about the event as you can. Who are the traffic cops? What exactly is the offense that they are charging you with? What exactly happened? Where? What time? You record this on paper and with your phone if you can. In the previous video, watch that video, we said it's legal to record traffic officers conducting their work in case you need this as evidence in a court of law. Then it's important that you gather all this information and then you insist if they are going to arrest you. Let's say they say you are going to be arrested, you must still insist on getting legal assistance. Your lawyer, you still need to get your lawyer. Remember that you might be held for up to 24 hours or as much as 72 hours over a weekend if you happen to get arrested on a Friday afternoon when most courts close around 3 p.m. A good lawyer should be able to get you out of trouble even after hours for most offenses. So what you need on your part is to have sufficient information about the incident, what happened, who were the traffic officers involved, and what is the offense that they're charging you with, and then your lawyer can work the law to try and get you out. The first thing that you want to do is make sure you don't get into trouble in the first place. Don't drink and drive. It's not good for your health. It's not good for other drivers' health. If you are speeding, make sure you've got sufficient, good enough reasons why you were speeding. If indeed you were speeding and you don't have good enough grounds for the speeding, don't be confrontational with the police. They are also human. They are also human beings. Just try to be polite. Just try to be cooperative. Just be humble. Most of the time, some of the time, they might actually just slap you with a warning. Don't do it again. Now go. But not a ticket. The goal is not to get a ticket. Then, if you do have reasons why you need to be speeding, of course, you can still lobby the prosecutor and they'll strike that ticket from your name. If things do get out of hand, get as much information about the traffic officers, the incidents, the offense, and everything so that your lawyer can help you in that situation. Guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.